Okay, here we go. Third and final test of big shot targets. So as you guys already know, these two here were giving me some trouble. I kept having arrows pass through. The first one, it passed through on the third arrow. The second one, it passed through on like the seventh or eighth. This is the upgraded Kinetic Pro. This is rated for 650 feet per second. These over here were only rated for 500. So we're gonna set up, shoot a few arrows. I've got the GoPro set up right here and we're gonna see what happens. So I've got a brand new, fresh Rushmore 5-spot. I'm gonna put that up on there. Let's get to it. Just so you guys know, this is a fresh, brand new, out of the box target. The box is right there. And I've literally shot it one time just to make sure that I was sighted in correctly on my bow, because it's sighted in for 20 yards. So I put a tiny little mark on the target face or my aiming point, so that way I know I'm getting good, clean, consistent shots without having to move my sight, because it gets really annoying to have to like move it for close yardage at home and then move it back to where it was when I'm at the big range at CJO. And it's just, I'm tired of having to move the sight around. It sucks to literally re-sight your bow every time you shoot it. So I just set it once and then use that for whatever I'm doing, and you know, try my best. So seeing as the first one passed through in 3 shots and the second one passed through in 8, I'm thinking maybe we'll do 2 ends of 10 arrows apiece, and I'll just shoot one, go get it, shoot one, go get it, shoot one, go get it. That way we're not here for 20 million years while I shoot 200 arrows or 100 arrows or whatever, because this is just the test to see if this bag is going to continually stop my arrows. Now, judging by the amount of penetration off the one arrow that I shot to make sure I was still sighted in proper, I think this bag is it. And to be honest, even if I do have a pass through, because Big Shot is letting me keep those other 2 targets, if I have a pass through at this point, I'm just gonna double them up, put one in front of the other, and then go from there. I'm not gonna continue to gripe about it, because in reality, I got 3 times as much as what I actually paid for, because they went so far out of their way to try and take care of me. So let me go ahead and shut up. I'm gonna turn on the GoPro and we'll get to slinging some arrows. Okay, we're ready. That's running. I'm going to knock my arrow straight off the bow. Toss all these over here, and all right, let's get to it. You know, you guys can literally tell me in the comments to shut up, and I probably won't, but I'll at least note that you guys want me to shut up and just get to the video. And I don't know, maybe I'll oblige a little bit, who knows, maybe I won't, maybe I'll talk more just to annoy you. All right. One. It's about 6 or 7 inches of penetration. Oh man. Hold on. We got issues. This is not good. Crap. What in the world is going on here? Hold on, let me spin this around so you guys can see what I'm fighting with. So, oh, Jesus. I can't get my arrow back out of the target. Let me get my gripper. Oh my gosh. What in the devil was that about? And see, there's nothing on this arrow that will catch on anything that could be inside that target. I don't know. Let's keep shooting and see what happens, I guess. That's 4. We have officially surpassed the first target. Hopefully I can pull this back out. Yeah, it came out just fine that time, but I'm getting more penetration. Five. Six. Uh-oh, we're stuck again. 7. Seven had the most penetration at, let's see, at 10 3/4 inches. So, and then at the halfway point, we'll go over the specs of the bag as far as thickness and what we're really experiencing here. Coming up on shot 8. Uh-oh. That was it. That was it. Eight shots, which coincidentally is the same amount the other one took. Okay. Well, since we're here, turn you around. All right. Now, this target is, and we're measuring by the frame, okay, is exactly 12 inches deep on the frame. Now, the edges, the surfaces of this bag stick out a little bit further on the front and back, but we're not counting those because I didn't count them on these bags. Whereas these bags over here are, let me make sure you can see real quick. Yeah, these bags over here that my hunting bow is sitting on are 10 inches deep, okay? So, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release the strap that's keeping that from falling out, and we're gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna bring you over there and see if we can see the arrow through the back. And if we can't, we keep going until we do. Move my pretty bow out of the way. Let's see if that's enough here. Okay, now I'm going to try and pull this out without it falling down on me. Okay, let me bring you over here so we can see what's going on. I'm going to grab my flashlight because it's pretty dark back there. Okay, so I'm not seeing any poking. Wait a minute, hold on. What's that there? All right, so we should be roughly somewhere in this vicinity. Yeah, basically right in the middle of the bag. And I can see where, crap. So we can see where in the material here, if I can get us zoomed in, right there in the very center There's a little bit of OSB plywood material that's now sticking to the bag, but no tip poking through yet. So let's shoot another one. I apologize, this video is so long, but I wanted you guys to have a full uncut from start to finish. That way you know that there is no funny business going on. And I want to be absolutely clear about one thing, okay? Everyone who's watched these says, well, duh, you're not supposed to shoot it in the same place. I hear you, okay? And on some targets, like those cheap blackout bags that cost $40 from Bass Pro or Cabela's or wherever you go, that is the case. You will shoot straight through them if you keep hitting the same spot, okay? But every one of these targets is advertised for extreme shooting, for incredibly high FPS arrows or bolts, like the Kinetic Pro is a crossbow target. A high-powered crossbow target is literally what it says in the description, okay? Now, there is a disclaimer on their website that says if you want your target to last as long as possible, don't shoot it in the same place repeatedly. They don't give a number of how many times not that you can or cannot shoot it. That is what this testing is for, okay? I paid $200 for a target, as I've said before in the earlier versions of this video, to be able to pin up a target face to it and practice for indoor and outdoor competitions, okay? And I've been in contact with one of their engineers, the director of marketing, and all the people that I've talked to, including a lot of the people online who I've spoken to who own these targets. And every single one of them, from the manufacturer, from the director of marketing, to everyone that I've talked to online, they all say the same thing. They've never had an arrow pass through these targets. And one of the guys I spoke to is literally using his for paper tuning, okay? He has had his target butted up against the wall, just like mine's butted up against the backboard, for 5 years, okay? This should be able to handle it, especially when the manufacturer themselves says, yeah, we've seen your videos, the targets are not doing what we built them to do, we don't know why, we're going to send you another target, keep testing. They're literally having me do this. They sent me 2 replacement targets now to have me continue to test it and figure out what's going on. So, and I appreciate everyone's feedback. Please continue to do so. I love the comments. I love that you guys are on this journey with me to figure out, you know, what works and what doesn't, and I appreciate that. So let's keep it constructive. Let's keep it friendly. Constructive criticism only. You know what I mean? And yeah, we'll go from there. Let's set back up and shoot some more arrows. Darn. Sorry, I'll go ahead flashing you guys. Just trying to make sure that my pants don't start falling down. I already know that my shirt's riding up, so I apologize that you guys have to see my big fat belly. So, alright, back to it. Now, I'm shooting the same spot on the target face. My goal was to get to 10 arrows, or actually no, 12 arrows, because if it handles 12 arrows, that would be a, hold on, let me get a free hand so I can throw air quotes. That would be a simulated 60 arrow competition worth of abuse. And if it could stop 12, then I would be incredibly satisfied and wouldn't have to use 2 targets. So shot 9 coming at you. Let's go. That's 9. And I did not hear it bounce off the backboard. So I'm assuming, even though it is incredibly close, I'm assuming that some of the material down inside the target is moving around and kind of filling up the void of these arrows ripping through there are creating. Shot 10, this would be a simulated 50 arrows. Because, 5 times 10 is 50-ish. Okay, that's 10. And it did not hit the backboard. I know it's still very close, but I didn't hear that characteristic pop. And just so you know, every time I show you this, the tip of my thumbnail here is the penetration. Now, they did not share with me what they have down inside this target. I'm assuming because my arrow got stuck twice that there's probably a piece of foam or something down in there to kind of help slow everything down that my arrow kind of got stuck on. It's the only thing that makes sense, Ooh. Remind me to edit that out, guys. Good thing I caught it, huh? Sounded like it touched. That's arrow 11. You're the old. No, it did not touch. I mean, again, we're getting massive penetration, but it seems like that all this stuff is building up on that back net and just not letting it pierce through, which is, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? I am incredibly happy with, like, if it just barely bumps the plywood, I'm cool with that. Remember, the idea is for me to just only have to use one of these target blocks and go from there. Be ideal. So I do know that the nylon weave, the netting that they're using, is different between the 500 and the 650, and I'll show you guys that right after this arrow. We'll see if we could get a clear enough picture on the old pocket computer. I heard something fall. Well, that's shot 12. That's 60 arrows total. 60 arrow game. 12 shots in each face. Maybe it was just a leaf. Because, yeah, it's not. These last few arrows have all hit the same spot and not gone through any farther, which is fantastic. same distance. I'm not gonna actually measure it. Now let's take a look at this target material. So it survived the 60 arrow game. I'm happy with that. 12 arrows all in the same spot. Let's take this face down. Kind of analyze what's going on here with the nylon weave. There we go. Now this one was from sighting in earlier, so don't mind that. Let's look at this hole right here. Let's get up on that nice and close. So as you can see, within, you know, maybe a ½ inch little area here is where I hit repeatedly 12 arrows in a row. And the first thing I noticed is that this this nylon weave is in better shape than the first two targets. Now, if you look really closely, you'll see that the weave is actually in an X pattern, an up and down pattern, and a left and right pattern. So it's literally the same pattern. So you got the up and down, left and right. And then it looks like they took another sheet in manufacturing and laid it on a diagonal. So then you got the diagonal here. So this is like a double weave, which makes sense. You know, it's a thicker target overall, and it's got reinforced nylon. So let's look at this other target here. Let me move my stand out of the way. So this is the back side of the very first target. As you can see, there's 1, 2, and 3 as far as holes where it blew through. I circled these two because they're, you know, they're freaking bigger than day. Now let's get down on here close. So the biggest thing that we see here is, one, that nylon fiber has actually split. It has completely severed the connecting material. And then if we back out just ever so slightly, you notice that in the actual texture of the nylon weave, you literally only have the up and down and the left and right. You don't have that same diagonal weave that you do on the heavier duty target. And the same with this hole right here. You hear that? That is my finger brushing up against cut fibers. And these both did the exact same thing. So this one I actually shot the heck out of, because when I was testing it, and when I'm rubbing my hand across this, it literally feels like those little whisker things on brand new tires. You know what I'm talking about? On the sidewalls. That's what it feels like rubbing your hand across this, because the arrows are just splitting the nylon. And I think that's the problem. This, we'll call it a bi-weave, because it's 2-direction. We'll call that a bi-weave, just because I don't know their technical terms. But this bi-weave alone is just, it ain't got enough ass in it to stop what I'm throwing at it, is the main issue. Even though these are rated for 500 FPS, I think that a 550 grain arrow at 247 FPS, standing 8.5, 10 feet away, whatever that distance is, it's just too much for this material to overcome. Whereas this material here, as you can see, I'm not feeling any whisker, you know, pieces hanging off of here. And we've got the quad weave, whatever you want to call it. There's like 2 pieces of nylon here. One of them's, of course, like I was saying, diagonally offset. And then we've got no piercage through the back side here. So let's pull this off one more time. That just hit a bunch of stuff. It's lovely. Make sure I'm not going to knock everything down here. 31-minute video, unbelievable. So we should be looking right here at the inside, okay? Right where the center of this target is. And yeah, nothing. Totally solid, No pass through. Heck yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Okay. Okay. So, closing thoughts. Pardon me, I needed a drink. Had to wet the back neck. So, realistically, let's be totally honest with each other. I am very happy with how this 650 Kinetic Ironman Pro turned out. It's a very durable target. Big shot targets, they did their thing making this. Now, my personal opinion, the Ironman 30, it is a good target system, but it's not going to stand up to what I'm using it for, you know. Now, if you wanted to, and the reason why I've got, 30, 40 holes in the front of the second one is because, one, it was more durable, and two, I actually started doing legitimate blank bailing where I took the target face away and I was just working on form. And for working on blank bailing with no target face and you're aiming at a different spot every time, it'll last you forever. Well, I don't know about forever, but it'll last quite a long time, and it's perfect for that. But if you are a target archer and you want something you can hang a target face off of, the Kinetic 650 Pro is the way to go. If you need a good, solid budget bag, I looked it up yesterday. I believe Big Shot's got them on their website right now for $189 something. I'll put the price somewhere in the screen, maybe cover my big ugly mug, who knows. And what kills me is that the 650 Pro is the better target. It's the more durable target, but the Ironman 30, the 500 bag, is slightly more expensive than the 650 Pro, which I find strange. And I don't know, maybe once Big Shot sees this video, they'll go in and make some price adjustments and maybe lower the price of that one to more accurately reflect its performance. And like I said, it's not a bad target, you know what I mean? It's not like we're getting the $40, one and done blackout bags from Cabela's, These are good, solid targets. They weigh 100 freaking pounds. They got nice metal handles on the side of them so you can pick them up and move them. I recommend not lifting it by yourself because you might hurt your back. But all in all, I am extremely pleased with the Kinetic 650 Pro. I would recommend it to anybody that needs a target to do what I'm doing. Now, in reality, as I was saying before, am I going to hang the target face on this target and shoot the same spot 12 times in a row? No, I'm not. Because I want this target to last a long time. I've gone through a lot of aggravation to get to this point, and I don't want to have to go through all that again. And I definitely don't want to have to shell out another $200 for one of these targets, So realistically, what I'll probably do to make this last as long as possible is every 3 or maybe every 4 ends, when I go to pull my arrows, I'm gonna pop those cap nails out and move the target either up, left, down, right, somewhere. That way I'm not repeatedly striking the same hole over and over. Because, I don't know how long I could have hit that same half-inch spot, but eventually it's gonna give. There's only so much that any material can do to stop a decent amount of kinetic energy. It's not the strongest bow, it's not the fastest bow, but eventually it will rip through, and like I said, I don't want to have to go through all that. So, I'll recommend this target to anybody. And that's about it. I'm a happy camper. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everyone watching. I know this video was super long, and I appreciate you sticking it out with me. So